Welcome back, everyone. In this lecture, we're going to briefly go over the course curriculum. Before we actually begin the course and the technical content, I want to build an understanding of our particular learning path and why we're starting where we actually do and how we approach the various topics in this course. So let's give a brief overview of main topics and the structure of the curriculum of the course. So my overall goals for this course is for you to be able to understand computer vision applications. And as we learn about more and more topics, we're going to start relating them to real-world applications. At first, we're not going to understand enough about computer vision and OpenCV to actually make the jump to some sort of real-world application. But as we continue to build off of the little bits and pieces that we learn along the way, we're going to be able to make more and more connections to computer vision applications, like being able to build out our own license plate blurring software, or being able to understand how deep learning image classification works. But in order to make that leap, we're going to have to learn the building blocks along the way. My other goals for you after completing this course is to understand how to use OpenCV and Python to work with images and videos, and more importantly, be able to apply these skills to your own projects. If we were to jump ahead directly to deep learning computer vision, you would be able to do the projects we show in this course, but then probably wouldn't have the skills to actually apply that to your own projects. So that's why we're going to start with the very basics and build our knowledge and understanding as we go along. That way, once you complete the course, you're able to apply everything you've learned to your own projects. So we're going to start off with learning about a library called NumPy. And if you've taken some of my other courses, you may already be familiar with NumPy. In this particular section, we're really just going to focus on two things about NumPy. The first thing is how to work with arrays and slicing and indexing arrays, and that's the main data type that NumPy holds. And then the second main part is how to actually read images and display images with NumPy. After that, we'll have a section on image basics with another library called OpenCV for Open Computer Vision. And we'll begin to work with OpenCV in order to work with just the very basics of images and how to draw on images, simple commands like that. Once we've learned the basics of NumPy and OpenCV and how to work with images with both of those libraries, we'll start the more complex and advanced functionalities of image processing with OpenCV. So these are where we're going to be learning about advanced OpenCV operations that are actually useful in real-world applications. Then, once we've gotten a handle on images, we're going to move on to video processing with OpenCV. So we'll kind of go back to basics. However, instead of dealing with image data, we're going to learn how to work with existing video files, so MP4s or .avi files, and we'll also learn how to deal with streaming webcam videos, all of the OpenCV library. After that, we'll move on to object detection. So we'll learn the various different methods of detecting objects in images and videos. So we're going to start with a basic template matching. That is to say, if you're given an image, can you find that image in a larger image? And then we're going to work all the way up to things like face detection. So we can actually detect faces in photos and videos. Once we understand object detection, we'll move on to object tracking. So this directly expands from the knowledge of the previous section to actually then track and detect objects in videos. So object detection allows you to detect in a single image. Object tracking allows you to kind of continue that detection through various frames and track it in a video. Then we move on to kind of the more final sections of the course, which is deep learning with computer vision. And that's where we begin to combine the knowledge from all the previous sections with the latest tools in libraries like Keras and TensorFlow for state-of-the-art deep learning applications. And then we'll also be able to download state-of-the-art neural networks in order to perform image classification on your own datasets. So keep in mind this course is a very gradual build-up in computer vision. I know a lot of times students want to jump straight to the awesome deep learning applications, but it's really important that you take your time with these topics as they can be pretty advanced. Now, this understanding of fundamental concepts will allow you to apply these skills to your own projects. Okay, I'm super excited to get started now with the technical sections. So we're going to get started, and the next lecture is going to help you set up everything you need in order to open up our course notebooks as well as have our provided environment work for you. Okay, let's get started.